turn it down. Probably leave it up high enough so we know if they come on or not.
And I'll call the meeting to order. Roll call. Chief Manuel.
Here.
Joyce Lopez.
Here.
Tim Scotto.
Present.
Brad Lingard is going to be calling in. Chad Higley.
Here.
And Brian Sepla, Scott Stillenbar, and Chief Pettis are excused. Can please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have one item on the consent agenda, that is the approval of the minutes of the meeting on January 16, 2025. Do we have a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve.
And a second?
I'll second it, Chad Higley.
All in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to new business, item A, discussion on quarterly drills. A1, discussion on 2025 Q1 drill. Anybody want to take that?
The chiefs are on the committee, so the only person here capable of giving anything is Chief Manuel. So, have you guys had a meeting to discuss your new or upcoming drills?
No, the only thing is I'm still in the works of meeting with Officer Lloyd and Mr. Statico in regards to any school drills. So that is something we can provide at a later date.
Okay. Well, we'll need the to make sure that we include as many agencies as possible. With that, of course, and do full NIMS report on it and keep a NIMS file. I don't know if everyone is familiar with the NIMS policy that says we're supposed to do one of these large NIMS drills once a year and then document it. That's not based on Fed guidelines, but we have adopted a policy. So in case anybody needs it or wants it, just request it from me and I'll send it to you. So anybody else, did we do a Q1 drill?
No, we ended up having some different things come up, so.
Okay. All right, well, we'll have to make sure we put that on the agenda. Our contract does require one every quarter, so if we fall behind, we'll have to catch up. So best not to fall behind. Doesn't say they have to be super complex. They could be tabletops if you guys just want to meet for a tabletop drill. I would suggest that, we plan something bigger for the future, but in the meantime, we definitely just need to make sure we keep up the frequency. All right?
Any questions on that Q1 drill? Moving on to item 2, discussion on 2025 Q2 drill.
We've started the planning stages of kind of what we're going to do, but we haven't engaged everybody yet. So, but there is plans to do. So. Are you guys involved with Pinal Counties at all?
With Pinal County?
Yeah,
Yes.
They have a tabletop exercise coming up on the 9th of May. I'm on the LAPC there as well, and they're doing a tabletop exercise of a chlorine leak for one of the EPCOR containers in Santa or in Florence, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, they do have some pretty major chlorine plants down in the valley, so that's not really an issue for us up here as much, but it can happen. We do have chlorine at some of our wastewater treatment plant facilities and treatment facilities, but
through emergency management.
Yeah.
So yeah, please do share that information with everybody so you guys can get out there.
Any other comments on item 2? Carrying on, discussion on First Networks for the fire and police department.
The chiefs and I met with First Network. I'm just facilitated the conversation. The chiefs are gonna have to do the review and determine whether or not they want to go with First Network. First Network is a public safety dedicated network. It's a federal program, but it's administered. The vendor who won the contract is AT&T, and Pinal County has gone with FirstNet. So It makes it interesting for police, since they share dispatch with Pinal County, and now they have the option. Previously, Pinal County restricted us to Verizon and Verizon only, so this is an opportunity to consider change. Pricing is a little bit similar, but a little bit cheaper. The network is supposed to be prioritizing emergency traffic, so they never get throttled, they never get queued, so they can have a stronger and more fast connection. But the chiefs have been doing their evaluation, so I'll let them take it and tell you whether or not they are interested in doing it. Another question is whether or not there's an AT&T repeater on the number 9, and whether or not they do offer the ability to do repeaters, localized repeaters, emergency incident repeaters. So they will roll a truck out from Phoenix if we have an incident up at the mine, park one out there, and it will repeat out the cell signal and the data signal for 5 square miles. They also have smaller ones that are like 2 square miles. They have a backpack one that's like a half mile that they can check out to people, or we could buy. So it is a dedicated public safety network. Chiefs, have anything you want to add to this, or?
Do we know if there's a tower up there with AT&T?
I don't think there's an AT&T. I know there's a Verizon, but I don't think there's an AT&T.
On the APS side, I do know that they were working, trying to get one at Top of the World while they were waiting on working on the number 9. I know the permitting through the county had gone through for the number 9, but if the build out is done, I'm not 100% certain on that, but I know that they were working, because they were going to put a temp site up at Top of the World, and that fell through, but they were still proceeding with resolutions. So if it's up, it may be, but be something to check into.
I will check and let you guys know.
Okay. Well, I think the plan is I've already emailed him back to do a trial on it, to get a phone and a booster, like a mobile booster, to check out the areas that we are having troubles, getting signal with Verizon, which we have now. So, and Chief,
I agree with Chief. We are going to ask for a demo to make sure that the coverage is, it's either as good as Verizon or better. If it's not, then there's no reason to change.
Chief Gatto, a request would be to take it to Kearney, and since they are our most common mutual aid response, it'd be good to make sure that it actually works there.
mm-hmm.
There's also some dead spots we have always had. The base of Gonzales Pass, right past the Arboretum's always been a dead spot. Seems pretty random. I don't know why it's a dead spot, because you can see the town, but you still can't get cell coverage. So, be interesting if this system would work in that area, and if it would work in the Arboretum, which is a dead spot for everyone. So, and it's one of the things we could talk to them about if you went with that system, is getting a fixed repeater at the Arboretum. Because right now they're dead, and a good portion of the Arboretum. So you can't even call 911 out of the Arboretum.
Any other questions, discussion on item E? Carrying on, discussion on the fire truck.
The, as I'm sure everybody's heard, we did get a congressionally directed spending appropriation put in the budget last year, and then they did not adopt a budget. They didn't adopt the appropriation. They did another continuing resolution, which killed our appropriation. So we have to start over again. We got new quotes. I resubmitted it last week. We'll just have to see how that process goes. I'm told that the ones that they approved last year that didn't get put through will be pushed back to the top of the pile. But even if we get it, if we get approved this year, it'll be a year before we can place the order. It'll be 3 to 4 years before we can get a truck. So that's, the trucks that we have will be over 30 years old before we get a new truck. So the chief has been working that problem, and you want to give us an update on that, or?
Yeah, we've reached out to several departments actually, and we're see the bigger departments, see what they're partnering with as far as used trucks, replacing them. And we do have one department is planning on possibly replacing 5 in the near future. Some will go their training program, and then the rest will go either to like an auction, or if we can get in on that deal, maybe at least it'd be newer than what we have now. I mean, it's still going to be an older truck, but it'll get us by, and they're usually maintained pretty good. They're used pretty hard, but so we're working a couple different agencies on that to see if we can come up with trucks and do that way.
So NFPA says that your truck should be retrofitted at 20 years and replaced at 25. ISO says at least one of your trucks needs to be NFPA compliant. The second doesn't have to be. So we need at least one truck that's yet less than 25 years old. Currently, the only truck in the fleet under 25 years old is the tender. Everything else is 27, 28.
Yeah, they're 97 and 98.
And the tender does not. It's a Type 2 or Type 3 structure, if at all. So it's an old designation, an attack tender, which nobody even builds anymore. It's a weird truck that was a fad at the time. But
yeah, it's a support tender with a smaller pump. It's not ready for structure fighting. I mean, it's capable, but it's not ready for it.
yeah. So it's not a very good structure truck, and it's not a very good tender. So it's kind of it doesn't get deployed that much, which means it doesn't have many miles on it. So it's a good backup. But the problem we have is, again, the last truck we got from Mesa is a 97.
Yes.
And the truck that we bought is a 98. So both are 27, 28 years old now. So our contract says that we need to maintain compliance either at NFPA, ISO, or a comparable standard. So we have to address this problem as a group and immediately. So again, we put all our hopes on that CDS, and it didn't come through. So now we have to punt. So the last fire truck we bought from Mesa cost $10,000, which is a smoking deal. I can't anticipate us getting that again. We'll try. But if we have to spend $50,000 in a truck, we have to spend $50,000 in a truck.
Any other questions, concerns on item C for the fire truck? Carrying on, discussion on emergency services response plan.
This is the plan that everyone works jointly on to set a response plan for mine site operations. This is supposed to be updated yearly, I believe, and it's overdue. So I don't think anybody on the board other than Joyce actually was here when we did it last. So, except for Tim. Tim, probably you need to send out the latest version to everyone so we can start getting out the red pencils, because I'd like to approve an updated version at the next meeting.
Okay.
So the way it works to avoid quorum violations, you can work on, one or two of you can work on a project. The best thing to do is to send drafts to me, and then I send them to whoever's coordinating the final draft. That way you avoid, a quorum. You can always communicate with me without violating any quorum laws.
Any other questions on item D for the emergency service response plan? Carrying on, do we have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
A second?
One second.
Second by Joyce, all in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned at 6:14.
Yeah, I did. Just go through it and see if anything updated on it. See how it is. I think the last one really changed a whole lot.